I guess on the same topic, considering that the motion picture would be such a large scale project, is there something that we as regional state chapters could do to potentially reach out to filmmakers or such, or should that be probably done? Personally, I feel like it could probably be more suitably done on a higher level, perhaps by Peter or Jacques. But I know they're very, they're very busy and they're occupied with what they're trying to do. So, how could we help make that happen?
It is very much Jacques and Roxanne are actually very much involved with doing that. There are some talks and things going on right now, but like I said, we're not talking about anything, and I barely even understand. I don't know exactly all the details myself, so I'm not going to say anything. Just suffice to say that talks are underway and trying to get that taken care of. As far as the cities, state chapters, and whatever getting involved, maybe later when they're trying to figure out locations and places to do things and logistics and all that stuff, or maybe that will come into play. But as of right now, we're nowhere close to that point yet.
Great, thanks for the input.
Well, I'm wondering the possibility if, as individuals, we started making a noise about, hey, we would really like to see a Venus Project movie, with the goal in mind of saying, this is how we're showing the market potential to any potential filmmaker slash producer slash film investment company.
So like a petition of sorts?
Yeah, sort of like a massive thing. I don't know how we would do it. Maybe a massive Facebook thing and something on YouTube and just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, maybe a big petition.
Well, let me ask this question real quick. There is a poll or a petition or something that I know I signed on. That was a promotion for the Venus. It was a poll. I want to say it was a poll, and there was only like 35,000 people that signed up. Now, the Facebook page for the Zeitgeist movement has like 300 and something thousand people friended on it. So why is there a tenfold disparity between a poll, which is supposed to advocate the same thing, and a Facebook page? And the key thing I would say here is people will friend something or sign up on something and then basically ignore it after that point, or maybe they forgot. And if you were to do kind of like what you're talking about, anybody who would like to see a major motion picture as a way to gauge market, kind of like a market research campaign, you would want to make sure that you do that in a way that it's almost like a real legitimate market research campaign conducted by a firm or something like that, so that we can hit all kinds of demographics and things of that nature. If anybody is capable of doing that, I would say it's all for it. But doing something on Facebook, whatever, might be kind of iffy. And any random poll that you put on a website might, in and of itself, also be iffy. So it's just, could it be done? Yes. I just don't know how effective it would be at this particular point.
Okay, so then the short answer is we have to find somebody who knows somebody that's in a big market research film firm that's willing to put forth resources to find out this information.
Right. It's all about networking. Exactly. Cool. Any questions, guys? I think we're on about an hour and 20 minutes. So, Doug, it's up to you what you want to do.
Well, it's only 9:20 for me. It's 10:20 for you guys. So, you're driving the boat on this one. I'd say I've got about another 30 odd minutes I could go before I do have to bugger off and go to bed because I got to get up in the morning and go to work. But if anybody has any other questions, I'm still here. So go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I have a friend that lives in Virginia. Okay. Is this possible? This might be a bit funny. Is it possible you could get him a job in NASA?
No, I can't, because I myself am looking for a job. When the shuttle program goes away, all of us are getting kicked out to the curb. So all of us are hunting right now for jobs all over the place. So nope, I need to be a little bit selfish in this one and try to help myself and my family before I get anybody else a job.
Well, do you
Sorry
think?
about that, Doug. Good luck.
Roberto has a question. I think it's sort of been answered already, but I think his is worded a little bit differently.
Well, actually, Roberto, yours was the question I did address when I was basically saying, and I'll do this really short. It's yes, it's possible for individual members to take themselves off the grid by getting their house, solar powered, wind powered, and geothermal, and growing their own food, and getting an electric car, and all that. But that's expensive, and the average person really can't do it. Honestly, I mean, most can't, which is why the Venus Project transcends individualism in that respect and says we can do it as a group. And if we did it as a group, we can pool our resources and build the city and then have a city system that we all can live in. So then it's a little bit different than trying to retrofit your house. Plus, the only way you can do that is if you own your home. If you're a renter or live in an apartment, you can't make those kinds of modifications to your place. So as much as you want to do the right thing, you can't do the right thing because of the laws and everything that's involved. So I applaud people who can try to take themselves off the grid as much as possible. As far as community building, I touched on this earlier. As long as that community cannot be mud huts and cow farms and basically living, in an agricultural lifestyle from the 1500s, that's going the wrong direction. We want to talk about advanced materials and technology and science and engineering, giving everybody a better way of life. We can't go the wrong direction. So that's basically what I touched on, Roberto. Does that answer what you were asking? All right, very good. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tizak. I'm from Zeitgeist Chicago, and I guess from listening to Peter Joseph a few different times, he does mention something to the effect of there's no such thing as a conspiratorial elite, or there's no reason to concern yourselves with them, as they may fall from power with the new power structure. But at the same time, he says that whoever does come forth with the advances in technology will be given the option to run that technology, for, the planet effectively. And, obviously my concern is that if these intellectual elites or, powers that be who are hoarding the knowledge and, the technology right now, after, let's say, when we get this movement going and in place, they step forward and be like, hey, look what I have to offer. My concern is that you're going to have the same powers that be running the future Zeitgeist movement, and I guess I'm wondering if anyone else has any sort of concerns like that, or what we can do to maybe change the movement's perspective on, just kind of ignoring the men behind the curtain.
That's a good question. I would say by the way the resource-based economy is structured, I've trying to think of ways that somebody could use it as a power base, and I don't see how that's possible. And that's only because of the word abundance. Abundance basically screws up everybody's notions of being able to control or manipulate somebody else. The moment we have a city system or that is set up to provide abundance for all, there's nothing that a power elite, and without money, there's nothing that a quote-unquote power elite person would be able to hold over anybody else. Right now, they can withhold money, they can, twist laws and rules and regulations and things of that because of their financial power and their ability to manipulate greed of others and things of that nature. Whereas in a resource-based economic system, what would you use to hoard over somebody else? Even if that one power elite person was the best thing in the world, his money means absolute squat. Information, good luck holding information back from the hackers who want it to get out there, regardless of what the power elite think. Those people might have money, but they sure as hell don't have the brain power to actually dive into technical systems and protect their setup. They might be able to hire people, but that's where you just run into it's like an information conflict. They're going to say one thing and we're going to prove something else. Now, who's going to win? Them talking or us proving? I think us proving is going to be a lot more strong. It's going to be a lot stronger than them talking. And so that's where I think we run into a difference. Now, the problem with this question is it's kind of hypothetical and future based, and I can't predict the future. I don't know how they're going to attack us, when they're going to attack us, what methods are they going to use to try and maintain themselves. We really can't predict that. I don't even think you can look in the past and try to use a previous indicator, because what we're doing is so drastically different than anything that has ever been done throughout the history of humanity. I don't think they're going to be able to come up with a solution set to combat us.